Every day life's happening. Some days are more eventful. Others, living protected with insurance you can depend on changes your life for the better. We insure the people and things you care about. Not Agency. We'll help you find the right coverage so when life happens, you have the right insurance protection for your family and business. When life happens, live protected. Agency for all your insurance needs.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, January the 9th. We've got Nick Foster with us today from Voluntary Action Center. And before we go any further, I'll say happy birthday, Nick Foster. Today is your birthday.
It is. Thank you, Paul.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, one more trip around the sun. That's right.
That's right. I like that. You made one more trip around the sun. But Voluntary Action Center, you do so much for our community. Christmas time is an especially busy time.
It is.
And
yes.
It can be a little bit nerve-wrenching too, right?
Yeah, a little. It is. It makes me a little nervous every year because we make a commitment that we're going to sponsor so many families over the course of the holiday season, and we have to do that before we actually have all of the sponsors in place. So year after year, I worry that we're not going to get there or get everyone sponsored. And once we've made the commitment, though, we know we're going to do something for those families. And if they end up not sponsored, that means that we're going to write vouchers that they can use to go to shop on their own. And we write gift vouchers and we write food vouchers for them. But that still means there's quite a financial commitment for us, and it makes it harder for us to do what we're doing.
So how many families did you sign up for sponsorship?
We signed up 1,040 this year.
1,040?
Right. That's more than 3,600 people, individuals in those households altogether.
So you signed up 1,040, and if I remember correctly, you had about 1,000 families adopted, which meant that you were going to come up about 40 families short.
Ended up about 47 short. That's
47
right.
short. But a miracle happened there, didn't it?
Well, it did, and Veterans United Foundation came through and has provided a grant to us that will cover the cost of our helping those families this year, and that's a huge relief and a wonderful thing. And as you and I were talking about before we started here this morning, I so appreciate what that represents. That organization, like others in our community, really are committed to being a part of the community and serving the community and recognizing that they are a part of the community. And so they do what they can, and they do a lot. And that organization in particular is just very committed and very connected to so many.
This came as a total surprise to you?
Well, not a total surprise, because one of our board members suggested that we reach out to Veterans United. He is an employee there. And I was hesitant. They're so supportive of us. I don't want to just
overdo it.
Right. And that relationship is very important to us. But he insisted that we just look into it, and so we did. They asked me to fill out a form. I filled out that form. They met and made this decision to help us in this way.
So because of that, you ended up having every one of the families that you took in to be sponsored, they were all sponsored.
They were all sponsored. And they were going to be. It was just going to put us in the hole a good bit,
right,
in order to do that. So this is a very significant gift for
So
us.
it was a successful Christmas season
as
far as helping people.
It was, definitely.
What have you got coming up for 2018?
Well, all the usual things that are happening, but Homes for Computers happens next month. That's an opportunity for families in Columbia that have a school-age child in the home but don't have a computer to receive a computer. The city of Columbia replaces a certain number of their computers every year. Last year they replaced 40 of those. They hand those over to us. The Career Center cleans them up and gets them ready, puts new software on them, and then the Downtown Optimist Club helps us to distribute those. So we'll be doing that, and the registration, the applications for that are open right now.
Now, can people donate computers to you?
We don't do that because we just can't manage all of that. What's nice about this is that you have this one big group of computers. They all go in one direction. They're taken care of, and then they come back, and then we distribute them. We just don't have the capacity to do that on an ongoing basis.
Okay. What else have you got going on?
Well, our ongoing services are happening, and there is this one story. If we can go back to the holiday program really
Sure.
quickly, there's this one story that I think illustrates a lot of what VAC does all the time. One of the things that I make a point of when I'm talking about the holiday program is that, sure, kids get toys and games and all that kind of thing, but about 90% of our clients households get clothing. About half get household cleaning supplies. About half of them get hygiene products, or a combination of all three of those. Many get kitchen items and linens and all these kind of things that are really basic needs for living life. And so we're doing that in our office, day in, day out, all around the year. Even while we're doing the collection and distribution for holiday, we're still helping people get a work uniform and helping them with transportation and copays on medical expenses such as prescriptions. Well, there was this one woman who came in on the Thursday of each week when we do distribution. I stand at a table and I have all these envelopes in front of me, and every family has an envelope. And the reason is, it's part of our record keeping, but within those envelopes are vouchers or gift cards that will help that family with food or with gifts. And so they come one by one, and they come to me, and I hand them over. With this one woman, single mom, with one child, came to me, and I opened up her envelope and I began to explain to her, here's a voucher for you to use for food for the holidays. Well, our recommendation to our sponsors is that they provide about $15 per person in the household. So for her, that meant a $30 voucher. It's not a whole lot of money. But as I handed it over to her, she responded as though, in my mind, I had given her so much more. Her hand went to her mouth, tears shot to her eyes. And I just placed my hand out and put it on her elbow, and recognizing that this $30 for groceries was going to make a big difference for her. And for so many of us, that seems such a small thing, and I suppose in a lot of ways it is. But I was reminded in that moment that it is these small things that we're doing at VAC, these little helps that may seem so small to so many, but they make a big difference.
Right.
And we're Boone County's social service agency. There are many others who are doing great work, but we're so dependent on our community to support us in doing that. And as we're providing these supports and these helps to people all day long, all through the week, Monday through Friday, we always bear in mind that it is the community that sits alongside us to provide these services for people.
Right. And Voluntary Action Center has been around for so many years. It goes back to the old days with Cindy Mustard, and then
That's right.
You came in with Cindy after Cindy. But I have been so impressed by what you do, Nick, with the Voluntary Action Center, the way you help folks in our community, and on the other hand, the way the community responds
Exactly.
to what you need.
And I want to point out that 2018 has dawned upon us. 2019 will mean that VAC has been around for 50 years.
50 years.
50 years. So we'll be preparing all this year to celebrate in a big way next year.
So if you want to help out VAC, you'd like to make a donation, or you want more information, telephone number?
573-874-2273.
Okay, it's Voluntary Action Center, and they really do so much for our community. You can help out just a little bit, too, by making a donation. Out of time for today. Tomorrow, Ed Hansen will be on doing a Frank Sinatra review. See you then. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Paul.